Alright, we're going to look at this last little bit here on Gilded Age presidents before we look at the other ones. Now, we're going to start here with Grover Cleveland. Okay? A truly American sentiment recognizes the dignity of labor and the fact that the honor lies in an honest toil. Cleveland basically made it out like he was out to work. What I'd like you to get for Grover Cleveland, again, I brought it up. He is the only president to be elected to non-successive terms, meaning he was elected in 1884, did not run in 1888, came back and ran and won in 1892, which is just utterly absurd. For our purpose here today, I want to focus on the 1884 election and why that was interesting. Okay? Now, second thing for Grover Cleveland, if you get this as well, he was elected because of a group called the Mugwumps. Yeah, Mugwumps. I just wanted to say that. Mugwumps is M-U-M, or M-U-G rather, sorry. Hang on a second. So Mugwumps is M-U-G-W-U-M-P-S. And a mugwump is basically they were angry at the person running against it. They took their name from the Indian, and basically they're going to hate the Republican candidate at this time, James Blaine, and they're going to side with Grover Cleveland and win, and that's exactly what happened. So let's talk about Mr. Blaine. The United States is the only country with a known birthday. Great quote, right? Gotta love that. And so what's going on here is we had a great smear campaign in 1884. They attacked Cleveland's morals for, private affairs. James Blaine was a very lavish lifestyle, had multiple houses, and so they attacked his spending. He was Secretary of State for 3 presidents. In 1884, it's just nuts, okay? So I'd like you to get Blaine as Secretary of State 3 times, and he loses the election in 1884. Now, his thing that said he would slay the Democratic Party, he called it the 3 R's. He called it rum, Romanism, and rebellion. He felt that he would win on these 3 things. Now, what are they talking about there? Rum, prohibition is becoming a big thing at this time through temperance in 1884. He doesn't want to do away with alcohol, so that was the rum. Romanism, he wants to build up the military to this Roman standard. And finally, rebellion, he wants to appeal to the southern states. Remember, the southern states are going to be solid south, and they're only going to vote at this point. They didn't like the Republican. He felt that he could switch them over to liking the Republicans. And so that's the 3 R's of rum, Romanism, and rebellion. Now, the lasting contribution we have of James Blaine, he came up with the Union Panamericana, the Pan-American Union. Basically, that's where we take all the countries, North and South America, and all the Caribbean, and get them to work together. It was the idea that they should work together tariff-free and work through different things. Now, it fails because of McKinley, and we'll talk about in a second. And so here you have all the countries that we're talking about here that are going to be in the Pan-American Union, right? And so they show you how they're in there. Now, Pan-American Union is no more. It has been replaced with something else, and it is called the Organization of American States. Similar concept, and the whole idea that they work together, etc. This is the idea where all the countries, again, in the Caribbean and North and South America, work together to help each other out. Now, why did the Pan-American Union fail early on? Because of President McKinley. Okay? He wasn't president this time, but rather senator, and he announced a tariff reform bill. And the idea was to protect American products, to get people to buy American, because there was a lot of cheap stuff coming from elsewhere. So he raised tariffs to the unheard amount of 50%. That basically means if you have something that costs $10 from another country, it's going to cost $15 when it gets here. That's absurd. And so people didn't like it. People stopped trading with the United States, and it led to a panic in 1893 because people were not trading. There wasn't enough money flowing. Um, and so here you have it as well, right? There's President McKinley. As you see it, asked for it. And so you can see the tariff, right? 89% on war tax, common cloth, and untaxed whiskey. And so he picked and chose what he did and did not want to do. Now, the two things I want you to get done here, I want you to explain the purpose of the Pan American Union. Why would we want them all working together? And then describe the results of McKinley tariff, going to these absurd amounts of 50% on products. And so we'll look at one other little bit here in the Gilded Age, and then move on.